29 years ago or so, in the middle of a frigid and snowy playground at St. Patrick's Elementary School, a friendship was struck. As I stood on that playground holding Marc Melmer's stocking hat above my head, Marc looked up at me, asked me to give it back to him not once, but I think twice, before he jumped to what had to have been a foot off the ground to punch me directly in the chin. So I gave him back his hat. Fast forward 10 years. Fast friends are now on the lookout for cute girls. It just so happened that there were two young ladies that fit that description, a Keller girl and a Kirby girl.
Marc is probably a junior in high school. The kids wanted to go water skiing. Load up the boat. I said, we got to stop in town. We got to fill gas. Marc's like, can we go to Frankie's? Marc jumps up into the boat, takes his shirt off. I'm like, what are you doing? We fill gas down here. He's like, well, I'm gonna watch the gas gauge. And he's up there, he's kind of preening and flexing like like a rooster or something. I'm like, that's weird. I go over to Gloria, I said, what's going on with Marc? He goes, oh, it's that girl. What girl? That Kirby girl, I think it's Jenna. I'm like, oh, okay.
The only problem was that it seemed that the best chance we had of actually getting to know these girls required a game of tennis. A date for a match was set despite the fact that we had never actually played tennis before. Natural athletes, we thought to ourselves. The game is harder than it looks. We made an impression that day, but probably not the one we were hoping for. Nevertheless, looking back, we might find in that humbling experience of loss the seeds of providence. Fast forward another 10 years. Jenna has been blessed with a beautiful marriage to Zachary Craig, and Super Cooper has come along, a blessing in every way. God's providence, though, is hard to read sometimes. Zach's passing came as a surprise, and I can't begin to try to explain his passing from a heavenly point of view. But I know that in the world in which we live, some of the most beautiful things we go through are those touched by the cross. The story of our lives is one of loving those who God puts in our path the best that we can, as long as it is given to us. Friendships and marriages start in all sorts of ways, and they take paths strange and unexpected. But today, as we celebrate with immense joy the marriage of Marc and Jenna, I can't help but to be humbled in the face of God's providence, by which He uses so many friendships and so many hardships to lead us back to Himself. Who but God alone could have foreseen this moment 29 years ago, or 19 years ago, or 9 years ago? But such are the ways of God.
Jenna, first of all, I'm really glad that I called you. I'm really glad you called me back. And I appreciate you giving me a chance. And I promise that I will not let you down. I will not let Cooper down. And I'm super excited to officially make you part of me, and for us to be a family, and a complete family, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'll also tell you that I truly mean it when I say I scored the lottery and I got a 2-for-1. And that means the world to me that you've always trusted me with Cooper, and most of all, trusted me with yourself. And I love you. and I'll always take care of you.
Marc Adam. Perhaps the single best way to sum up how we got here today is Providence. The divine care, control, and direction, the will of God. The one who brought us together. We were never the authors of our story. He was. I don't ask God why our complex past of how it all came to be. I only thank him, trusting in him completely. Because truthfully, I never saw myself marrying again. When the words were told to me by a fellow widow of how she got to fall in love twice in her life, they were meant as words of comfort, but for me, they were anything but comforting at the time. But today, I can say I fell in love again, and I fell hard. I can stand here and say I give my whole self to you because you have not asked me to leave any parts out. You have embraced it all, my past, my heartbreak, my affectionate, ambitious little boy, knowing very well that it has made me who I am today. And for that, I am forever grateful. I choose you every day and strive to love you better each day. I look forward to all the mundane things in our life because it is in those ordinary moments I am happiest. I feel safe with you. I respect your drive and appreciate your enthusiasm and tenacity when it comes to living life. I promise to try to keep up with all your spontaneous Tarzan ways while being calculated and safe. I love your affection and compassionate ways, and I feel confident and encouraged by you. I want to grow old with you, really old. The kind of old where a night out is spent on a front porch watching the sunset. The kind of old where we reminisce about the extraordinary moments in our life while not taking any of the little everyday stuff for granted. I will love you today. I will love you tomorrow. And I will love you to my last breath. I love you.
It is my honor and privilege to now present to you the newest Catholic marriage in the Roman Catholic Church, Mr. and Mrs. Marc Melner.
Coop, it's me and you now, man. We gotta take care of your mom. Come here, Coop. I just want to tell you all, me and Jenna, Cooper, we've had a really good ride. It's been really fun. It's been really tough. And we all feel like we've went through rocky times, and it's all worked out for the best, and we don't feel like there's anything that we can't get through now. And we have absolutely enjoyed each other. We're partners in crime that give his mom a lot of grief a lot of times, but we have a lot of fun, and we really appreciate all of you being here, so supportive. And I want to thank the Kirby family for being so supportive of me and us. And I also want to tell my parents and my family, not one day have you ever doubted us at all. And you've always been there, supported for us. And you've welcomed Jenna and Cooper into our family. And now they're actually part of our family.